Welcome to DTS Attorneys. In this video, we're going to explain how the bond registration process goes. Neddy, do you mind just starting off with what happens once DTS has received a bond instruction?
Okay, firstly, when we receive a bond instruction, we will first check the conditions of the instruction before we can contact the client, check what does the bank require and how much the bond amount. Then we make contact with the client. We send our first email requesting all relevant FDICA documents and according to the conditions of the bond instruction. Then we await to receive information from client. If the bond is linked to a transfer, we will contact the transferring attorneys to request their guarantee requirements.
Okay, so those are the first steps. Once that's done, when do the documents get drawn up and how are appointments arranged with clients?
That will depend on how fast or quick we receive the response from the client and from the transferring attorneys. Once we have the guarantee requirements and the information from client and everything according to the conditions is met, we will be in a position to draft. Where after drafting, we will check if everything is in order. Then we schedule an appointment with the client for signing.
And for the signing, where does the client have to meet? Do they have to come to our offices or can correspondence be arranged if they're located far away?
That will depend on the location of the client. If the client is located in PE or is traveling to PE anytime soon, we always make arrangements for them to sign once the documents are ready. But if they are located elsewhere, we will first have to check conveyancers in their location and if they are on the bank panel, depending on which bank we are dealing with.
Okay, so if they're in a small tower with no conveyancers on the panel, they'll have to be prepared to just meet somewhere more convenient for us.
Yes, and that we will have to communicate with the banks, or otherwise, on base approval or permission, we can always let the client sign manual documents.
Okay, that's wonderful. And then once the client has signed the documents, when do they have to pay the costs due for the bond registration?
We have a bond process that we go through with the clients when they come to sign. We show them the very first step and where we are when they sign. So after sign, it's usually costs. Then it will depend. If our bond includes costs, then we will get our costs on registration. But if the client has to pay, then we will make arrangements with the client depending on when they will be in a position to pay. But normally, we cannot register our bond without receiving the costs.
Okay. And then what role does the bank play when it comes to issuing guarantees or checking any of the documents?
Firstly, once the client has signed, only then we can be in a position to issue the bank guarantee. And it will depend if the limit is within our capacity to sign the guarantee or does the bank has to sign the guarantee. So once the client has signed, the next step is to issue the guarantee, depending if we are signing the guarantee or the bank is signing the guarantee. Once that is done, we can upload all our signed bond documents together with the client speaker and relevant conditions like your insurance certificate or homeowners cover and guest certificate, depending what the conditions were in the particular bond. Once we upload the documents, each bank has their own turnaround time to give a proceed. Once we receive a proceed, then we are ready for lodgement.
If it's a late transfer and lodgement comes around, who determines when the documents get lodged? Which attorney has preference?
The transferring attorneys, they are the ones that arrange lodgement because remember their process is quite more than our process because they have to deal with the municipality to get their race clearance, sometimes with the managing agent to get the levy clearance certificate, and also to get their transfer utility from SARS.
Okay, so normally the lodgement will be arranged by the transferring attorney rather than the bond attorneys or with the cancellation attorneys.
Yes, that is the case.
Okay, so once consent has been received to lodge the documents from the bank side and you've informed the transferring attorney, what steps do they take to make sure the documents go into the deeds office?
Okay, firstly, the transferring attorneys, it will also depend which deeds office are we lodging the matter at. If we are lodging at the deeds office in King Williamstown, the transferring attorneys will have to arrange with the correspondent attorneys for the bond. If the cancellation is also applicable, the cancellation attorneys as well, then they will arrange for lodgement at the deeds office.
Okay. And then in the deeds office, the documents then go through the examination process and they come up on prep. Are there any requirements imposed by the bank once documents are prep that need to be met before transfer can be registered?
Okay, this now goes in the case of a cancellation of the bond. So if we are linked to a cancellation, when the matter is up for prep, depending on which bank the cancellation is with, the cancellation attorneys will have to get a prep or final figure before they can help in for registration. So usually if the matter is up for registration, we cannot help in the same day. They will first have to get the final figure from the bank. Then they help in the following day to register that other day.
Okay, so then once registration's taken place, then the bond's in place and the client can make payment of the initiation fee if he chooses to do so.
Yes, it will depend. Some with NetDel, the initiation fee in most of the bonds, it is included in the bond. But if it is not included, it will depend if the client is in a financial position to pay that. They can only pay that after registration and directly with the bank.
Okay, all right. And then the bond payments, that depends on the bank you're going to be with. I don't think we'd explain at this stage which one it is, but it differs from bank to bank. They're not all on the same process.
Yes.
All right, perfect. If anything else is unclear, feel free to contact DTS Attorneys.